Your personal development matters the most from where you are right now. Bring your career into new heights with our affordable and quality in-demand virtual training programs designed just for you. Give your career a boost with a course or a training from Stellar Training Consultancy Services and join thousands of professionals from different walks of life in a learning and development session that fascinates you, motivates you, challenges you to learn new things that you'll use forever in a career you'll love. Find the right training for you today here at Stellar Training Consultancy Services, bringing excellence to professionals.
You found us! If you're watching this, you might be looking for training certifications, workshops, webinars, or conferences that is affordable, accessible, reliable, and commendable. Stellar Training Consultancy Services can help you with your certification needs. From leadership and administrative trainings to general topics, we got it all here. With partners being served such as Department of Health, Philippine Coast Guard, Department of Labor and Employment, Department of Trade Industry, and many more organizations and agencies. There's no more reliable provider than STCS. So hurry, send us a message, and find excellence with STCS.
Ama namin, pakinggan mo po ang pagtawag namin sa iyong banal na pangalan. Basbasan mo po ang aming pagtitipon at kami kaluguran mo sa araw na ito. Pagyamanin mo po, Panginoon, at maging nakaayon sa iyong kalooban ang aming pagkikita-kita mula sa simula hanggang katapusan. Masalamin nawa namin ang layunin mong dakila sa aming buhay at may sagawa namin ngayon ang aming mga gawain na may kabutihan at pag-ibig sa aming kapwa. Kami po'y naninikluhod sa iyong harapan na kami iyong patnubayan at iwaksi sa aming kaisipan ang anumang masasamang kaisipan, inggit at pakikipag-alit sa aming mga kasama. Bigyan mo kami ng sapat na lakas at katalinuhan upang maibahagi naman namin ang aming makakaya sa aming mga kasama sa pagtitipon na ito. Panalangin namin ang lahat ng ito sa pangalan ng iyong bugtong na anak na si Jesus. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Magiliw, teras ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa dagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bagaw, ay hinagang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iingin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magdidinig. Luman ang araw ng walhagin pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga aking, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Ayan, good morning everyone. Hello po. Hold on, let me just Okay, magandang umaga. This is we have around 6 participants for today's training. Happy holiday. Holiday na holiday at kayo po are dedicating yourselves for a career development. Congratulations, kudos po sa lahat. Let me just say hi sa ating participants or Mark, Ma'am Pia, Engineer, Mo, okay, Ma'am Jen, and Ma'am Joanna. And also we have Ma'am Dolores. Okay, let's see. Kamusta po yung ating long holiday? Saan po tayo ngayon? Are we working even on holiday? Kamusta po? While I'm preparing, also I'm going to share my screen. Allow me to. All right. Kayo po ba ay nasa inyong mga bahay or nasa labas? Are you working right now, engineer?
Yes, I
Nasa,
am in
wow.
my actually nandito ako sa holiday na holiday, parang nandito ako sa office ko eh.
Is that required? Is it your choice or talagang required po kayo na
Hindi, actually it is my choice, no? Para pangdagdag
okay.
alaman. Okay.
Oo. Oo nga. Thank you so much po, sir, for attending our training despite, the holiday. Okay. How about the others? Saan po tayo ngayon? Okay, at kung kayo po ay kasi mamaya especially in my training, I always ask okay, I always ask my participants to recite or to to read slides. And so, okay, hold on. And so, if you are in not a comfortable or convenient place, it's okay. Kapag maraming maingay, like maingay ang mga bata or construction, it's totally fine. You can tell us in advance, and we totally understand that. And also, kung meron kayong mga concerns or meron kayong questions, you can interrupt me even in the middle of the discussion or the explanation. I don't mind para po talagang ma-serve namin kayo ng maayos. All right? You have your training fees worth, right? Okay. And also, on behalf of your STCS family, the Stellar Training Consultancy Services, I'd like to thank you for choosing STCS as your training provider. As what you can see on the screen, our topic for today is effective business technical writing training. Okay. And if you are new to this training, to our trainings, you are requested to turn on your camera for the first 20 minutes of the training for attendance purposes. Also, please wear proper clothing since the session will be recorded for quality and management purposes. And be attentive and be interactive during the discussion. And let's respect everyone because tayo po ay galing sa iba't iba, meron tayong iba't ibang pananaw, and we come from different backgrounds and profiles. So kaya magkakaiba yung ating perspective on different various things. So okay, without further ado, let's get down to the business program. Our program intended learning outcomes for today are the following. You, our participants, will be able to plan reports using the essential planning tools covered. You'll also be able to organize your thinking into a clear, logical structure before beginning to write. Participants will be able to write a clear, focused executive summary before starting on the report body. And you will be able to write the report body in line with the stated objectives. And participants will be able to review logical style and flow, plain English usage in correct style. All right. So with this all presented, let's go to our knowledge check. All right. So let me share the sound first so adds more excitement. Why do organizations rely on excellent business reports? Bakit po kailangan natin ng reports? I think ito ay nangangailangan ng unmute ng microphone, I believe. So, sino po ba ang merong idea about this question? Bakit kailangan natin ng excellent business reports? Sino po sa inyo ang gumagawa ng reports? Anyone? You can, if nahihiya po kayong mag-unmute, meron po tayong chat box. Okay. Yes, Sir Mark, you are unmuting your microphone. Are you
Yes,
doing
sir.
reports?
Yes, sir. Wait lang, sir. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. Sure po.
Yun. By the way, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Di na ako mag-o-open ng cam kasi
No.
medyo, actually kasama ko si Ate Pia. Pero nasa ano kasi kami, Batangas. So yun,
Mhm.
medyo ano lang din yung ano ko, video ko. So yun, actually dito sa question na what are your
Sorry,
struggles in
sorry.
starting, ayun,
Okay.
kanina, pabalik na
Mm.
lang po.
Yeah, eto po.
Yan. Why do organization rely on excellent business reports? Actually, tatagalogin ko na. It
Ah,
is most important talaga to have excellent business report, especially kapag sa mga formality. Kasi kapag nagbibigay tayo ng information sa mas nakakataas or mas mataas na position or kahit sa low ranks uh,
mhm,
employees or bosses natin yan, hindi talaga dapat ipasawalang bahala yung impormasyon or accurate information kasi
mhm,
sa organization talaga may binuboost tayong mga resources dyan eh. So, yung resources na yon, ano na yun eh, kumbaga overall na yon. So kapag nagbigay tayo ng information, kailangan na na-utilize ng maayos at hindi nasasayang kumbaga ganon. So this is, sa business report actually ganun din naman yung scenario or yung scene, pero just to be clarify, uh, ito yung mga ano, yung mga nakikita rin natin mostly ginagamit din natin yung sinasabi nating business case, no, para
mhm.
maging maayos or kung merong gusot or problema or concern sa isang organization, maaayos ito or magagawa ng paraan kasi meron tayong mga reports na makikita
Alright,
ng mga tao na magbabasa nito
alright.
or
Thank you,
gagawa ng
sir.
solusyon. Yun na naman. Thank you.
Thank you po, Sir Mark. Tama po 'yon, 'no? Lahat ng sinabi mo tama kasi kailangan natin ng report, especially that um, maraming taong people come and go sa organization. So mga report na ginagawa nila will also leave, no, that's the legacy that they can leave. And also, at the present, yung ating mga ginagawang reports, ito yung basihan for decision making. These are the basis for especially if kailangan ng sinasabi na kaya na sinabi ni Sir Mark kanina, there are a lot of pieces of information and data on those reports na kailangan ng top management at kailangan din even by the lower ranks, no, in your organizational structure. And it's very important that we present the business reports as excellently as possible kasi kailangan niya maging comprehensive na kung sino yung magbabasa, agad-agad maintindihan. Like what Sir Mark said a while ago, we need to boost our resources. And we also need to achieve this goal, we need to give reports to our stakeholders, internal and external, to our top management so that our programs and plans can be approved and so on. So, yan. Everything relies on how you present your business report, and the way you present your business report will be taken against you, right? Will be like, kumbaga, kung magaling yung pagkaka-present mo, it will be um it will be added to it will be credited to you, right? So yan. Now, what are your struggles in starting your business reports? Ano yung mahirap? Sino dito yung pinaka nahirapan ka sa paggawa ng business report? Yes, engineer.
Hello,
Yeah,
good
thank
morning.
you po. Hello.
Yes, good morning. From Marawi City. Napakagandang umaga po sa atin lahat, no? Nandito kami sa Marawi City po ngayon.
Wow. Sorry.
Napakalamig dito, parang nasa Baguio tayo. Kaya naka-jacket ako.
Okay po.
Okay, engineer po tayo. So
Mm.
alam na natin ang engineer ay talagang we are more on numbers, no?
Mhm.
Kulang tayo. Sa totoo lang talaga, pinabayaan natin yung mga English sa subject natin. Kaya nga gusto natin mag-add ng mga knowledge regarding the English, ganito,
Mhm.
mga writing, kasi hindi tayo masyado nag-invest doon sa mga ganito, mga
Ah,
mga English speaking, ganito, mga technical writing. So ang napakahirap dito, no? Struggling in the starting your business report, yung collecting of data. Alagang kung hindi mo makukuha yung wala kang data na hawak, na talagang mahihirapan ka talaga na paano mo gawin yung report mo, especially nasa government side ka. Ako ay nasa infrastructure ako kami ang nag-implement ng project. Tungkol lang doon sa additional doon kami sa sagot doon, no? Sa kailangan natin bakit excellent yung report natin. Una-una po, government funds ang hinahawakan natin. So dapat na mayroon tayong may pakita sa mga boss natin o kaya sa mga tao, stakeholder na talaga nang yung ginagawa natin ay tama. So that's why na kailangan natin talaga excellent na report natin, tama, lahat ay nandoon. So dito sa struggles no starting your business report, talagang maghihirapan tayo paano natin magawa to if there is no available validity data. Yun ang pinakaano po. So dapat mag-umpisa tayo.
Alright, so tama yung sinabi ni engineer. I think, yeah, engineer has just encountered technical problem. Okay po. Okay, thank you, sir. Maraming salamat po siya na share. And I'd like to highlight the point of engineer. And by the way, sir, Kapwa Bisaya from Jensan. You are from Marawi. Okay, so po, nag-graduate din po ako ng MSU. So,
MSUS pala.
MSU din po kayo, sir?
Actually, Cagayan de Oro College po.
Okay po. Yeah, so sikat kasi yung MSC dyan sa Marawi din, no? Okay, so tama yung sinabi kanina ni sir that talagang before tayo, kasi yung pinakamahirap sa isang undertaking or sa isang endeavor is how to begin, how to start. Yun ang pinakamahirap. And mas mahirap, it is being worsened by the thing na wala kayong data. So kung walang data, hindi kayo makapagsimula. Okay, added up to that is our struggle in putting our thoughts and our feelings into words. Diba? When we are running out of words, we are not very good kasi hindi naman most of the time we are really advised or suggested to write our reports in English. We cannot do it in Taglish or in Tagalog. There are a lot of times, or most of the times, you have to write it in English. And so sometimes we do not know if this word is appropriate for this kind of report or this academic writing or formal writing or not, or how to say it formally and so on. So aside from the data, how to put these words, this data into words, how to explain them, and so on. No? So iba kasi yung conversational lang, iba kasi yung informal formal. So marami tayong i-consider and marami tayong nagiging struggle because of that. All right, maraming salamat po. Now let's go to introduction to technical report writing. All right, so let's start with what is business report writing. I wonder if Ma'am Pia is able to unmute her microphone. Ma'am Pia?
Ma'am, sir.
Yes po.
Yes, by the way, yung presentation, pwede ba masin sa amin?
Yes po, sir. After this training po, within 24 hours, masasend na po yung training material, yung inyong certificate for this training, at saka yung video po natin.
Oh, thank you very much.
Po, para mabalikan nyo po. Okay. Thank you po, sir, for raising that concern. Ma'am Pia, yes?
Yes, Gail.
Hello po.
So what is business report writing? Business report writing is the process of preparing a formal written document for a business setting. Business report is an evaluation of a particular issue, set of circumstances, or financial operations that relate to the performance of a business. Its main purpose is to communicate relevant information succinctly and efficiently.
Thank you, Ma'am Pia. Ang ganda na po ng lugar niyo dyan. Magkasama kayo ni sir?
Yes, nasa seminar kami ngayon.
Wow.
So, etong 10 to 12, parang inano nga namin dito kasi sumakto naman yung attendance natin.
Amazing. Dual pala yung inyong ano ngayon, sir, ma'am.
Yes.
Napaka-multitaskerist.
Oo nga
you. Thank you, Ma'am Pia,
thank you, sir.
thank you po. Now, so like what was read, business report writing, it's a process of preparing. Okay, formal, sorry. My mouse is not here. Formal written document for a business setting. So take note, we have to present a formal written document. It's an evaluation of a particular issue. Okay, the set of circumstances, it could be a financial operation that is relevant to the performance of the business. So the main purpose is to communicate, all right, relevant information succinctly and efficiently. So this is just effectively and efficiently. So we just have to communicate. We need to make sure that the information that we want to convey or communicate can be comprehended well. So like what I said, it needs to be comprehensive. Although it's formal, make sure that we don't need to impress. Okay, we don't need to impress the reader or the recipient of the report with our highfalutin sounding words, or the words pinakaalam natin na ito a very difficult word, no, so to speak. Hindi natin kailangan yon. What we need is only formal words that are comprehensible, okay, that are common. Para kasi kapag remember that one word a person cannot understand will compromise his understanding of one phrase. And if one phrase cannot be understood, then it will comprehend it's someone's comprehension of the whole sentence to paragraph. So ganun siya ka-critical if we use words that are not familiar. Okay, so make sure that, kasi our goal is to communicate the relevant information. It's not to impress the person, right? So let's just use words that are formal but comprehensible. Okay. Now, what is a business report? More of it. I'd like to ask Ma'am Jen, are you okay? Are you good with turning on your microphone? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you have it. Take it away, Ma'am Jen.
A business report is a sharp, long, or short document that is written for a specific audience. It is usually set out and analyzes problems or situations. It also makes recommendations for actions to be taken in the future. It is a paper that focuses on facts, and it's supposed to be well structured and clear.
Okay, thank you, Mom Jen. So I'd like to note important words here. It's sharp. It's long or short. It depends on, of course, the information you're trying to communicate. And it's written for a specific audience. Of course, when we do business report, it's not just like an announcement. It's not like just a reminder that is good for everyone. It is intended for a specific person or a group of people. Okay, kaya the way we present the business report, we also have to consider the characteristic of the person we are going to send, or we're going um, to communicate the information to. So for example, if that person is a busy person, might as well just write a short document, but brief and concise, kumbaga. But if that person wants to, it's like a person who likes more details, okay? So we can write a long document having all the information in there, okay? So it sets out, analyzes problems or situations, okay? So analysis, recommendations, or actions to be taken in the future. So factual. That's why when we do business reports, most of the time we can see, but they're not all the time, we can see these graphs, these charts, all right? We can see these graphic organizers, or these non-verbal information, mga organizers. It's supposed to be well structured and clear. So depende din, no? Kasi may mga business report that would not need these. But most of the time, nakikita talaga natin, especially if it's a financial report, if it's a incident report, not necessarily most of their times, but financial report and other reports need this, especially if there's like a comparative analysis of the year-end data. So yeah, or annual data. Okay. So next is, what is the importance of a business report? Bakit din na lang kailangan magtrabaho na lang tayo, right? Masipag naman ako magtrabaho. Bakit kailangan pa natin 'tong mga report na ito, no? Nakakaubos ng English, sabi nga kanina ni engineer, nakakaubos ng mga English natin, no? Okay, especially na there are people who are more on the linguistic side, there are people who are on the mathematical side. So, okay, hindi namin inclination ito. We cannot, sometimes you just ask someone to write the report for ourselves. We just tell them how to say it, or what are the words that we need to say. But what is the importance of a business report? Ma'am Dolores, are you good?
Yes po. Good
Okay, okay, good.
morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ah, Technical reporting. What is importance of a business report? Business reports provide useful insights for management, such as information on spending, profits, and growth. Reports will provide important detail that can be used to help develop future forecasts, marketing plans, guide budget planning, and improve decision making. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am Dolores. Yep, so that's the importance of, let's highlight the keywords. So we provide useful insights, okay? Provide useful insights for management, information and spending, profits and growth. Like what I said, the comparative analysis of annual data. Ito nangyari last year, ito nangyari ngayon. So, and it also provides important detail, the insights that can be used to help develop future forecasts, marketing plans, guide budget planning, and improve decision making. All right, so if we take business related courses, ayan, alam ko, manina lang ito sa inyo, ito mga business reports. Okay, so a powerful business report by GCF Learning. So let's watch this video and let's see what we can learn from this, from GCF rather.
When a company needs to make an informed decision, a business report can guide the way. These documents use facts and research to study data, analyze performance, and provide recommendations for the future. Business reports are always formal and objective, and every fact must be clear and backed up by a legitimate source, no matter if the report focuses on a single issue or an entire company. Let's look at the structure of a typical business report. First, list your name, contact information, and the date of submission. We also recommend giving the report a title. Next, provide some background on the topic you'll be discussing, along with the purpose of the report itself. In the key findings, provide relevant facts and data using bulleted lists, charts, or any other medium that can help make your point. Be clear and specific, because the entire report revolves around this information. When you reach the conclusion, summarize and interpret the key findings, identify issues found within the data, and answer any relevant questions. Then, recommend solutions based on what you've presented. Remember to stay objective, impersonal, and focused on the company's perspective. For the references, list the sources for all the data you've cited. This allows your reader to learn where you got your information. Some companies may require an executive summary at the beginning of the report. An executive summary includes the background, key findings, and recommendations within a single section. This lets a reader learn the highlights without having to read the entire report. While business reports may seem intimidating, you have the ability to create one of your own. Collect and present the facts in an organized manner, and you'll help your company make informed decisions.
Goodwill Community Foundation, creating
Okay, so like what
opportunities for a
we
better
have
life.
seen and heard, business reports are very important for our bosses, our leaders, to make a sound an informed decision. Kumbaga, yung decision nila is not arbitrary, but based on the statistical data or the information that was presented to them by you upon validation and verification of that data. All right. So, kanina napag-usapan sa video yung iba't ibang parte or the different parts of a business report. But again, there are some business reports, maybe your business reports you have modified. If that suits, if that is, if that suits you well, it's fine. But this is the basic, okay, the basic format of a business report. So we'll talk about that later as we go on. But let's talk first about the basic tenet of a business report. But later on, again, don't worry, because we're going to talk about the different parts of the business report. I'll be asking Mom Joanna to read to us the basic tenet of a business report. So when we say tenet, that means principle. And yes, Mom Joanna, I think you're ready. Mom, you are still okay. How about this? Oh, I think your microphone is not detecting your voice. It's okay lang po. Okay lang po, Ma'am Joanna, no problem. This really happens. All right, so let me just read first. Maybe later we'll get back to you when your microphone is working. Okay. The basic tenet of a business report. This is a basic principle. The business reports are always formal, objective, and heavily researched. Gaya ng sinabi kanina ni Sir Mark, kailangan natin na planuhin yung paggawa ng business report. At sabi naman ni engineer na kailangan natin ng data. This is heavily researched. Hindi tayo pwedeng gumawa ng business report na based on our assumptions or based on what we just heard. Hindi tayo po, kasi ngayon, no, these days, ang mga marites ay nagiging valid, nagiging credible sources na ng information, which is not, no? So we have to make sure that the information that we put into our writing, the pieces of information are really valid, and they are from credible sources. Alam na po natin yan. It's heavily researched. Every fact must be clear and verifiable. And regardless of whether the report focuses on the single situation or examines the overall performance of an entire company. So mahalaga because, again, this will be the basis of decision making. Just imagine if mali yung inyong binigay na report, of course, mali din yung desisyon na gagawin, especially if you are the process owner, if you are the program holder, right? Or the project coordinator. So kung mali yung report na pinapasa, mali din yung magiging desisyon ng top management or ng nasa taas. And bakit nagiging mali? Sometimes it's an honest mistake, but most of the time it's a deliberate plan. Kumbaga, there is a personal interest why it was done like that. Okay, so kailangan we have to be really honest in our report. Next. Okay. Because objectivity is crucial in a business report, avoid subjective descriptions that tell the reader how to feel. For instance, if sales were down last quarter, don't say sales were terrible last quarter, but rather let the sales data speak for itself. We cannot put our own interpretation of the information. Okay, just tell the information as is. Kung ano lang yung nakikita, just tell that, and what's the result, just say it plainly. No need to put your feeling or your interpretation of the data, especially if it's very personal. Sales were terrible. You cannot say that. There should also be no personal pronouns such as I think we should invest more capital, because that would sound like it's your idea, not the idea of the data, not the idea of the information. It's your own idea. So I think we should invest more. It will become personal. Well, we know that business report holds the is the concern of everyone. So even if ikaw ang gumawa, everyone will be affected. So it's not just about you. We don't say I think we should invest more. Okay, so you it's probably better. It's better to say higher investment is highly suggested. Okay, kaysa sasabihin natin na I think we should. Okay, a business report should remain impersonal and framed from the company's perspective. So avoid using personal pronouns. The I, me, my, mine. So these are personal pronouns. Okay. Now, purposes of business report writing. So what are the purposes of business report? A report has lots of purposes both in the academic and professional world. But since it's usually used in the professional world, most of the time we are going to share with you the three main purposes of this document. All right. So first is making decisions, then professional advancement, conducting investigations using reports, and a managerial tool. We will explain each one as we go on. And to start with the first one, making decisions. I'll be asking if engineer is good with turning on his microphone, sir? Sir Mo? Do I address you correctly, sir? Tama po ba na tawagin ko kayong Sir Mo? Because here it's Mo Engineer.
Sir Mon. Mon.
Mon. Okay. Okay, Sir Mon. All right po. Okay. So, Sir Mon,
So,
saan po natin itong purpose?
yes, medyo hindi maganda yung busis natin. Kumanta tayo kagabi. Hindi, joke lang. What are the
Okay
purposes
po,
of
okay po. No problem. Sige po, sir.
So, in our modern world today, most individuals and business organizations need a lot of information. Reports provided huge amount of information that is required to make important decisions. Also, individuals get to understand a specific area based on the information presented in a report.
Okay, okay din naman pala yung boses niyo, sir, parang pang Brigada News. Okay po. So, maraming salamat, sir. Sir Mon. All right. So, the purposes of a business report, gaya ng nabasa ni Sir Mon kanina, it's to provide, okay, information, huge amount of information. Kaya tama yung sabi kanina ni Sir Mon, no, na kailangan talaga ng data. Yun ang mahirap. Hindi ka pwedeng magsimula. You cannot just do it for compliance kasi deadline na at wala ka pang data. No, no, no. We cannot do that. It has to present. You need to have a huge amount of information first before doing the business report. Okay, that should just follow. That is required to make important decisions. Individuals get to understand a specific area based on the information presented in a report. So basically, when we talk about business report, the very first thing, the most important thing is information, data available. And it's not just the data that is there, but data that are verified, data that are accurate. Okay? Kasi pag sinabing decision making, hindi na yan pwedeng baguhin. There are a lot of things na nandyan, di ba? Resources nyo. It's not just about the decision, but the use of the resources, the use of time, the use of manpower, andyan lahat sa decision na yan. So kapag mali, if you have started with the wrong information or the wrong report, susunod-sunod na yan. It's domino effect. Mali na din yung nagamit na resources, mali yung mga tao, mali yung time. So there would be a lot of wastage and your company cannot afford that. Your organization cannot afford that. So kasi itong business report talaga is the basis of our decisions. Next, let's go to conducting investigations using reports. Is Sir Mark? available at the moment? If not, I will do the honor. Let's have the conducting investigations using group. Oh, I think Sir Mark is okay, unmuting.
Sorry, medyo ano eh,
Okay, no
busy.
problem.
So, naghahanap kasi ako
Me-
ng place na tahimik.
Okay.
So,
No problem, Sir Mark.
I mean, release ko lang. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. Purposes of business report writing. So, what are the purposes of business reports? When there is a serious problem, a study group, committee, or commission investigates the issue to find the root cause of the problem and present findings with the recommendation in the report. In a business world, problems will always arise. However, how you deal with these problems determine whether you grow and thrive or fail miserably. So, yeah.
Thank you, Sir Mark. Okay, parang si Ma'am Pia kanina, sir, nasa magandang pwesto. Magkasama po ba kayo sa isang building? Alright. Okay. Sige, Sir Mark, napaka-busy natin, no, lahat. Ito actually, yes, Sir Mark?
Yeah, okay lang. Actually,
Okay
kasi
na.
nasa seminar kami. Sorry. Thank you.
No problem, Sir Mark. We do understand. Marami po tayong experiences talaga na the participants are doing multitasking kasi kahit kami rin during our seminar sa DepEd before, tatlong seminar, may region, may division, may school. So, grabe, no? And I commend all our participants doing the same kasi hindi siya madali. But thank you so much for still actively participating despite your situation. Going back to the purpose of business report, yes, we conduct investigation. Okay. So if there's a serious problem, the report will, of course, hindi natin pwedeng when there is a serious problem and we do something to mitigate the problem, we do something to solve the problem, hindi pwedeng oral lang, no? So hihintayin pa ng boss na makita ka niya so that you can report to him. No, we can already do the report, investigative report. Okay, when there is a serious problem, and also by having that report, you will be leaving a basis for the next manager, for the next person in the position, basis nila na meron na bang, kumbaga, meron na bang nangyaring same case before. Of course, you're going to look at the incidental reports, kung anong ginawa and was it effective and so on, right? Para if the same problem happens in the future, there would be something that they have to look at or base their decision from. Okay, so we investigate the issue and we find the root cause of the problem, present the findings, and then recommend. All right? So, ganyan siya kahalaga. We put everything in black and white so that alam natin if these findings are accurate and valid and the recommendations are feasible or effective. So in the business world, problems will always arise. However, how you deal with the problem determines whether you'll grow and thrive or fail miserably. So maraming problems anywhere in the world, personal, business related, professional problems, maraming problems. But the question is how we deal with these problems. So we deal with this problem. Do we deal with the problems effectively and systematically? Kasi minsan akala natin yung resources, kasi marami tayong resources given the fact na we are a big company, marami tayong pera. But baka yung nilalabas natin na resources and pera are too much for the problem. Okay? Because there was no report done about the problem, there were no findings, and the recommendation was not appropriate. Okay? So kailangan talaga yung business report is comprehensive, accurate, and valid. All right? Another is professional advancement. A report plays a huge role in professional advancement. To get promoted and improve job satisfaction, intellectual ability is essential. And this ability can be demonstrated by writing a good report and submitting it to the relevant authorities. Well, apart from that, if you are an administrator, creating excellent report about an employee. Okay, let me see. All right. Okay, about the employee about employee performance, it is essential. Okay, let me share again so that you can see the cut part. Ayan. So creating excellent report about an employee performance is essential. So kailangan natin ito sa amin. Before kami ma-promote, kailangan meron kaming mga action research na nagawa. Okay? Kaya maraming teachers yung gumagawa ng mga action research nila. And in the action research, they have to present a problem. They have to present the solution, the findings, of course, the common part, the conclusion, and the recommendation. And on top of that, they also need to design a project or a program. Okay, so ayan, not only submitting the report, but doing the recommendation themselves. Kung anong mga programs and project doon, and that's another part of another thing that they need to do and need to do the report on kung ito ba effective or not. So marami. So ito ang tumutulong sa atin so that we can achieve greater heights in our career. Kailangan natin ito. If we are author, that's a point. If you are author of a business report or researches, plus points yan sa atin. Especially if we are in the government sector, when we are doing our IPCRF, di ba meron tayo doong mga plus factor and meron din doong mga other principles or KRA. So we need to, maybe we can insert this one. Ayan, so mga plus points talaga sa atin ito. And of course, it's just good ito kasi bonus na lang siya. Kumbaga, we do the business reports because they are needed by the company, they are needed by the organization for the organization to thrive and move forward, or for the organization to progress. No, kailangan itong mga business reports. Plus points na lang yung napupunta sa atin, yung talaga yung may points tayo, and it will lead us to professional advancement. Yan. Okay, so we just do what is right and what is good for the welfare of the organization and the company and the people that we work with. Okay. But again, it's good to be reminded that when we do the report, we have to do it excellently. Now, for the managerial tool, reports are essential for managers because they can be used for organizing, planning, motivating, coordinating, and controlling. All managers need reports to get essential information that will help them make informed decisions. When managers make informed decisions, the business will naturally grow and thrive. Ayan. Iba talaga if we work on things with data, with analysis, not by instinct, not by intuition, but mahalaga that we are guided properly. Kaya may iba yung decision and informed decision. Okay? If we do things based on the data, the accurate data, yung ating nagagawa is effective and efficient and cost efficient din. Kasi we may be able to save a lot of money, time, effort, and people. Okay? Hindi natin pala kailangan ng maraming tao for that project or for that plan. Nakaka-save tayo. All right? And instead of having like a lot of people, those people can still do their jobs, and we just have the right amount, the right number of people that we need. for a particular solution. Okay, so kailangan ni manager itong report. Kaya laging report, saan ang report. And it's part of our accountability to submit the report on time. Okay, hindi lang that we were able to do it, but we were able to do it before on or before the deadline. Kasi again, this is a managerial tool. Kailangan ni manager ito. If we are being bombarded by calls and text message or chat na tapusin na ito na report or lagi tayong binibisita, that is just for the benefit and for the welfare of the company. Kasi kung walang report, the manager cannot work on on something, okay, on a particular undertaking. Kailangan niya yung data. So, wag tayong we'll call this one, wag tayong ma-upset or wag tayong ma-feel we should not feel like, yeah, pressure is good, but it's a good thing para matapos natin ang reports, because reports are really, really important, and we know that based on our experiences. Okay. And there's another thing. Itong napapansin ko sa mga reports. These are not necessarily business reports, but the reports that we do, I mean, not really we do, but kasi ako kasi yung nagko-consolidate ng mga data and information on a particular division sa amin dito sa division of Gensan. Now, I receive data from, or I receive report from around 5,000 teachers. And yung mahirap is, alam ko na yung mga ibang data talaga is PhD. Alam niyo yung PhD? Doktor. Na doktor nila, because they were not able to, maybe, I don't know what's the reason, maybe they weren't able to do it on time. They procrastinated for some reasons. No, nagmanipulate sila ng data, and of course, I just received those data, and nagtaka na lang ako after consolidation. Well, parang merong discrepancy sa report, sa number. Mayroon talagang discrepancy. Nakikita ko kasi naka-Excel. Nakikita ko kasi may mas malaki dito, hindi nagma-match, hindi siya nagba-balance, kumbaga. At the tendency is, binalik ko ang mga, what I did was, binalik ko yung reports ng iba at na-delay yung aming report to be submitted to the region. And of course, ma-judge tayo, di ba? Parang may minus points siya. Meron siyang demerit in terms of parang sa pag-assess ng what do you call this one? Compliance, no? Kasi merong ina-assess, ina-evaluate ang division based on its submission of report. Okay? Kaya yun, nagkakaroon ng minus points just because of the data that, the reports that were sent for out of compliance, not because of it didn't really serve its purpose. Kaya iwasan po natin ito. Hindi din siya although nakatulong siya sa inyo, but hindi siya makakatulong in general. Hindi siya makakatulong sa kabuuan. So let's avoid manipulating data just because maybe mahirap na or deadline na or mahirap na siyang balikan. We don't know, but the bottom line is that maapektuhan din kayo with the decision na gagawin ng manager na mali because the report that you have submitted was not correct. Okay, let's go to the structure of a business report. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, that the basic format of the business report. We have the title page. So every business report has a title page to tell the reader what they're about to read, who it was written by, and when it was written. So example here is continued education for creative teams at Adobe Max, prepared by on the date. Okay, so importante na yung ating title is concise and brief. Hindi tayo magta-title na parang isang paragraph. Okay? We just have the title that is catchy. Yan, importante. Catchy, and it tells what it is. It tells what the report is. Yun lang naman ang kailangan sa title. Hindi mo na kailangan i-explain pa. So, ayan. Next is the table of contents. The executive summary. Okay, so the table of contents, alam na natin ito. We'll just go to the executive summary. All right. So, nagkapalit tayo, no? So let's just have the table of contents. This section is vital for lengthier reports as it lists the sections and the subheads and the page location of those sections and subheads. This is for the table of contents ito. So especially kapag ang report ay mahaba. So kailangan talaga natin the table of contents para hindi na din mahirapan si boss, si leader, si supervisor, si manager, whoever reads the report, maghanap ng particular information that they're looking for. Kasi hindi naman ito lahat, although babasahin nila ito at time, but there are instances na kapag nagmamadali sila, they just need a particular data. And your table of contents will save the time. So executive summary, it is the shortened version of the entire report. It includes the topic and overview of the data obtained and the recommendations based on the study. So kailangan din itong others do no longer require executive summary, but others would require it. So you ask if it's your boss, your leader, your supervisor, your manager, whoever you're going to send that report to, tanungin na lang sila if they need an executive summary, but this is optional. Introduction. The introduction highlights the topics that the report will dig into. It will state what data was collected and why, and the overall purpose of the report. That's why in your introduction, you have to put the gist, ano yung purpose niya, ano yung what's the essence, what's the use of the report. Yan. What's the status quo? Ano yung nangyayari ngayon? Okay, the present and the data collected. You have to also put here. Although you don't put everything because we still have the body of the report, which is the most important. We just have to put the overview of the data result or analysis. Okay, so again, nag-intro tayo, diba? Here, in an agency with innovation as a core value, technology is a discipline. So we describe the subject matter, and so on. And then we go on, we substantiate the subject by connecting it to your company's context. Ayan, so, and the purpose why you do the report in relevance to your company's objectives and goals. So, madali lang naman din ang introduction for as long as you just know the pattern, the format, and meron kayong talagang data. Ayan. Okay. Then the body of the report. So in the body of the report, that's the meaty part. This is where the details go when it comes to the purpose of the report and any data supplied. So meron tayo dyang heading, meron tayong mga subheading. So the Adobe Max is the heading. Subheading, what is Adobe Max? Max, who should attend Adobe Max? And so on. So importante that we have subheadings kasi it will tell the reader what is the body all about. Kasi ang body kasi makapal. Andyan kasi lahat ng information. So you have to divide the information and put subheadings in a particular section. So ito is the definition of Adobe Max. The other one is the people concerned in Adobe Max. Okay. Now conclusion. Very simply, the conclusion will summarize the body section of the report. It will highlight the important insight taken from the data presented. Recommendation, if the findings of the report justify an argument, answer a question or require action, the recommendation section is a place to disclose what to do next. So we have 5 recommendation. Depending on the length of your report, meron tayong 10 recommendations. But most likely what we see is 5 recommendations. Okay, most of the time. But again, it depends on you, on it depends on the length of your report, and it depends on the the gravity, no, kung gaano siya kabigat, the weight, no, of the report. Merong ibang recommendation, isa, dalawa, tatlo lang, no, because the recommendation itself is very costly. Now, depende yan talaga sa inyo. All right, so next, references. If using third-party sources or resources in the writing of the report, they are to be listed here in the references. Appendices are additional documentation. So if you have some means of verification, meron kayong mga pictures, ilagay nyo dito sa appendices, meron kayong letters, communication, or correspondence, ilagay nyo sa appendices. Kailangan natin ng references so that hindi tayo ma-accuse or hindi tayo wala tayong legal, we will not face legal suits next or in the future for plagiarism. So kailangan tayong mag-credit kung saan natin siya kinuha. Okay po, so that's for the references. Now, you will be grouped into 2, and each group will be transferred to their own separate group rooms to discuss about the activity with each team members. So we're going to do this in 10 minutes. Okay, ito po yung ating activity for today. Okay, we are 6. All right, so we are 6. Igugrupo po namin kayo. But before tayo maggrupo, i-explain ko muna anong gagawin. All right, we will work together to create and list 10 recommendations based on the presented information on the business report. If you can make it 10, it's good. But it depende na kung ilan ang magagawa natin within 10 minutes today. Okay, especially kasi busy yung iba, no, sa atin. So, tingnan natin po. Each group must delegate 1 person to discuss the answers to the rest of the participants in the main training room. Okay, so if you are here and ready, please type yes in the chat box. Tingnan natin. Yes, yes, yes. Tingnan natin if everyone is on the listening mode or the active mode. Okay, sige. Yes, all right. Ma'am Jen responded first with yes. How about okay. Sige, si Ma'am Jen will be grouped. All right. Okay, so I think yan pa, listening mode. So since listening mode, no, ang yung iba and others are also attending, tingnan natin. Okay, dito na lang muna tayo mag-share na lang tayo ng ating insights, because that's why I asked a question. Kasi parang mahirap in our situation right now. Anyway, no problem. The goal is just to give or to arrive at to have recommendations for this problem. Sige, wait, hold on. Okay, so here's the problem. Okay, mag-ano na lang tayo, share na lang tayo ng ating insights. Okay, since some are in the listening mode, let's have this one. Analysis of 2016 book sales for Everly Publishing. This is prepared by Felicia Reyes, 316-555-3256. Felicia at everlypub.net, July 7, 2017. Okay, be ready with your critical mind and your analysis. Okay, analyzing skills. Background. When digital book sales soared in 2015, Everly Publishing devoted extra marketing resources to promote digital books equally with their physical counterparts. However, due to the recent popularity of deluxe physical editions featuring exclusive content and extras such as statues or t-shirts, Everly Publishing must also consider that the demands of the market have changed. So this report will analyze our sales performance from 2015 to 2016, along with the survey results and social media pages from 2017 in order to learn the effectiveness of our current marketing campaign and to plot a course for future development. So ito yung key findings. And we can see here in the bar graph, the overall book sold. Physical books were sold in 2,000 copies in 2015 and 3,000 more than 3,500 in 2016. The digital copies were sold at around almost 2,000 copies in digital. In 2015 and more than 2,000 copies in 2016. So for the 2016 calendar year, overall physical book sales were up 86% when compared to 2015. Overall digital book sales were up 10% during the same time period. Ang laki ng difference, no? After several digital books were made free for a 24-hour period, physical book sales of those same books increased by almost 300% for the following 3 days. Wow. According to customer surveys, customers prefer physical books because of exclusive content and the desire to own a physical object over a digital file. Customers also stated a strong interest in deluxe editions of digital books. Deluxe editions of physical book sales have increased by 70% since 2015. Facebook posts produced 320 clicks and 22 sales, while Instagram posts produced 571 clicks and 93 sales, with most of those sales being of deluxe physical editions. Ayan. So there is what's your recommendation for Everly Publishing? What should they do given their current situation? Ano kaya ang pwede nating gawin? Kasi mas
Sir, pwede mo
yeah, sure.
pwede mo palakihin ng yes, hindi
Ah,
namin na yung key findings. Yes, medyo maliit.
okay. Sige,
Yung key
try natin i-share.
findings. Yeah.
Try natin i-share itong portion ng screen, sir. Hold on po. For a while. Key findings, sir, no? Key
Yes.
finding. Nakikita nyo, malaki po ba?
Maliit.
Maliit pa rin
Ayun,
po.
maliit pa rin.
Okay. Let's see daw, sir. I think this is the biggest na. Wala pa rin, sir.
Maliit pa rin.
Ito ang key findings, ang nakikita niyo lang sa screen niyo, sir, is key findings, no? Right?
Key findings lang po.
Okay. So pero maliit pa rin. So I think that's, hold on. Wait a moment. Okay, tingnan natin. If I'll share again. Ayun na po talaga siya, sir. Ito na po ang ano niya. Yung kanyang biggest. All right. So we'll see if sir, baka naka-portrait po ba yung inyong try niyo po yes, sir. Try niyo po i-landscape, sir. So share ko siya ulit as okay, share ko siya ulit, sir.
Okay,
yan lang, sir. Nakikita na po ba? Okay na po?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Thank you, sir. And thank you, trainer. So let's have, again, the key findings. I'll be giving you 10 minutes to analyze. You can write down your recommendation. Just think of the main idea here. na si physical copies are being um, higher in demand, no? So mas malaki yung demand ng physical copies ngayon, ng digital naman yung uh, low ang demand. So what should they do? Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes for this and we'll be back. Working break na lang po. We'll be back at 11:24 and I'll be asking you of your insights about this one, especially on what you can recommend for the Everly publishing. All right po, sige. Working break lang po tayo. You can grab a drink or snack and you can type in the chat box your recommendations para po ma-share natin sa iba. All right, hello po. We're back. All right, after 10 minutes is over, let's have your recommendation. I think engineer has something in mind. Meron po ba kayong gustong i-recommend for Everly Publishing to do?
Yes,
Yes po.
I hope na tama ako eh. Medyo
No problem, sir.
I think nakikita natin dito sa key findings, no? So after UC digital books were made from yung pre for 24 hours, nakikita natin na something nag-increase na yung kuha natin, no? Sobrang lumaki yung increase. So I think isa rin na ma-recommend natin, increase the production of deluxe edition of digital book. So yun po yung ano natin. Yes, ipa-increase natin yung production kasi nakikita natin na parang yung ang tinatangkuhan ng mga tao. Yes. And then na po with yung deluxe edition po ay dapat mayroon din tayong talaga na wag nating i-focus sa doon sa digital pati yun sa dakuhan. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope nga
yes, sir.
tama tayo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, that's actually a good point. Where your business is strong, you focus on your efforts and resources there. Tama po. So yun po kasi yung strength nila, no? Talagang lumaki, no? Kung titingnan natin, they even had 300% increase, almost 300% increase in their sales of physical books. So might as well baka even if the digital is also selling, pero konti lang siya, but it's still increasing, no? Marami pa ring naghahanap ng digital. So we cannot I think we cannot also recommend na itigil din nila yung digital copies kasi meron ding naghahanap na. Ma'am basahin ko muna ito kay Ma'am Jen before kay Ma'am Dolores. Make an advertisement on social media platforms regarding the availability of the books on a specific bookstore or online shopping websites to boost the sales. Yes po. Thank you, Ma'am Jen, for that recommendation. Yes, Ma'am Dolores? You may now unmute your microphone.
Yes, sir. For me, maybe widen or add more social media promotion to promote the sales of deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, yes po. Tama po yun. In support to what Ma'am Jen, same po kayo ng idea din, no? Supporting Ma'am Jen's point. Tama din that we have to boost or they have to boost their marketing of their products kasi titingnan natin, we have Facebook post, they have Instagram post, maybe they can also advertise in other social media platforms. May maganda may magandang strategy ngayon, no, these days. Nakita ko lang din ito kapag may mga issues, pag may mga viral na issues, napansin niyo 'yan? Pag may mga viral na issues, they join. I mean, nakiki-share din sila with the hashtag and then ibebenta nila yung product nila sa pinakailalim, no? So nakita ko yan, nakuha ko yan na strategy kasi mayroon akong, that I have a store and I also have an online store. So yun ang copy paste lang naman talaga tayo, no? Kung ano yung patok na strategy, anong patok na business, anong patok na idea, yun ang ina-adopt natin. Okay, maraming salamat po. Tama po yun that we have to. Kasi ngayon, especially now in the digital era, lahat na talaga naka-social media. Sabi nila pag walang Facebook, hindi ka na daw tao. I don't know if that's true. Pag walang Facebook, yun ba yun? Okay, but no, yeah, kidding aside, almost all people meron ng Facebook. Of course, aside doon sa, except yung mga nag-deactivate, okay, for peace of mind. Now, going back, yan, and some more ideas about how to, what to recommend for Everly Publishing? Yung sabi ni Ma'am Jen, kasi meron tayong Facebook, meron tayong Instagram, I think they also have to really post on specific online shopping websites. Yeah, or specific bookstore. Kasi merong mga Facebook groups din, 'di ba? Na mas kumbaga tawag diyan, mabuboost din sila, no? Doon. Merong boosting din ang mga social media. So they also have to, but it comes with a price, but it's also good because yung balik din naman niya is bigger than the expenses in boosting or the price of boosting. Okay, some more ideas? Meron po ba kayo?
Yes,
Yes
I
po.
think maganda rin yung mga online, no? So mag-allocate sila ng time na online kahit isang oras, then i-discuss nila ano yung laman ng libro na yun, para saan yung libro na yun, ano ba yung may bibigay ng libro na yan. So I think doon pa lang sa online na yan, baka mainggan yung mga tao, makabili na tayo dahil doon sa ano. So isa rin sa mga strategy nga nakikita natin sa Facebook.
Yes po. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sir Amon, for that. Yung may nakita tayo na may mga Facebook ads sila or may mga ads sila, video ads, no, na parang nakakaengganyo talaga. Mostly that I see mga networking, no, meron silang mga ads na nagpa-pop up lang. Hindi naman ako masyadong nagfo-follow ng mga networking, but they just they just come and go sa aking news feed. So talagang and make these ads catchy. They have to make it catchy. Kumbaga mga clickbait na tinatawag, may tawag tayo na clickbait sa tawag ng millennials. Clickbait yan. Kapag nag-click ka kasi na parang interesting, yun, hindi pala. But you were able to click it already. Yan. So thank you. And also, there was one among my previous participants. There was one suggestion to, sabi niya, if used daw, yung physical books is lagyan niya ng parang digital copy on maybe a drive or a disk, or how it is being done, or maglagay sila doon ng paano i-access yung may physical siya na copy at meron din siyang digital copy in one. So maganda din siya na parang i-innovate nila yung kanilang, para if a person is, for example, magbabasa siya ng book, and then if he's traveling, he cannot read, he can listen to it. He can listen to what's the content. Meron ding mga parang tawag natin dyan is podcast ng book na iyon, if ano man ang laman ng book, if it's applicable, no? Meron ding audio copy, if it's maybe a story or whatsoever, or literature. Yan. So depende, no? These are also good. And yeah. Okay. Thank you for all your recommendations and thank you for all your sharing. So here, the recommendation section should summarize what you have learned from the report. Okay, you should also recommend potential courses of action based on your conclusions. All right, so thank you. Let's go to the types of business reports. This is the next topic. Let me just read for you. We have recommendation report, investigative report, compliance report, feasibility report, research studies report, periodic report, situational report, in the yardstick report. Okay, malalaman natin each report as we go on. You can use this report to propose an idea to management. The body would include sections like risk, costs, and benefits. An example of this type of report would be to propose buying a machine for your workplace. To convince the decision maker to buy the machine, you would create this report to make a convincing argument. So we have a recommendation report. Kung meron kang, of course, as the name suggests, kung meron kang i-recommend, would it be a product, an action, a plan? So you're going to make a recommendation report. Okay, so of course, in every recommendation report, you also have to take into consideration if it's cost efficient. Okay, yan kasi yan talaga yung concern ng ating top management, ng mga boss natin, ng leader natin, that in every recommendation, program, action, product that we recommend, is it worth it? Is it worth the money of the company? Ayan. So next one is we have the investigative report. This report can present the potential risk of a specific opportunity. This report is helpful for business owners to anticipate any issues involved in making an investment or purchase. You could also create a formal business report to analyze a proposed merger. Yes, investigative report din. Yung when we want to invest into a business, we have to investigate first. No, baka matulad tayo doon sa mga investment scams na nangyari. So, kailangan ng investigative report before venturing on a particular business, investing the money in a particular business. And in also, if there are some issues, you need to investigate on the issue. If it will affect your business in one way or another, or if it will be beneficial. So, kailangan munang investigahan. Anything that you need to investigate, the root cause of a problem, the solution, and so on. Investigative report. Compliance report. Ito, ang dami nating experience itong compliance report. This is done when the organization wants to show accountability and create a compliance report. It is a report that allows an organization to prove that it is following regulations and that it is spending money properly. For example, an accountant could write a compliance report to show the company followed federal laws regarding spending. And also we have in the advent of the QMS, yung ating mga report natin, meron din tayong compliance to the environmental law. Yan, compliance natin in sanitation, and so on. So marami tayong mga ginagawang compliance report. Kung hindi man kayo, maybe your accountant or other program holders. Okay, so they have the compliance report. Now, let's go to feasibility report. When you need to analyze the outcomes of a proposed idea, you can use this report. The report could cover potential problems, associated costs, and the benefits of the idea. With this report, you can determine if the proposal would be profitable, if the deadline is feasible, and if there's a chance it could exceed the budget. So ginagawa din natin itong feasibility report when we want to start a business. Okay, so we want to have a feasibility study and make a feasibility report. Kung ito ba na place is good for business. Okay, if ito ba has if the community can afford or the community needs a particular product or service. Yan, so that's the feasibility, analyzing the outcome of a proposed idea. Okay, so is your proposed service, proposed business idea feasible or good for the particular community, for the group of people? So alam na natin itong mga feasibility report. Okay, in the feasibility report, we need to see or anticipate potential problems, the cost, and also not only the negative but also the benefit of the idea. So kailangan siya feasibility. Next, the research studies. This report help you analyze a problem. The report would include recommendations to resolve the problem. Yes, engineer, do you have any experience with a feasibility report? Yes, Pa.
What is the difference between the feasibility report and the feasibility study?
The feasibility study, engineer, you are going to conduct it. All right, you are going to conduct the feasibility study. The feasibility report is, of course, you put that study into writing. Then you have to submit it. Again, the study, okay, is the feasibility study is you're going to do it. At the report, you're going to submit it. Okay, so the first step for you to do the feasibility report is you conduct a feasibility study. Yes. Okay, so the feasibility study has computation. It has research. We also have to study the financial forecast or mga gastusin, and then we do the report. Okay, if it's good or not, and then you do the business plan after that. Okay, so kasi meron pag after you conducted the feasibility study, you would be able to make a very good report, and that's the feasibility report which was taken from the study. And after that, since if maganda na yung report na yun, it's comprehensive and accurate, then you can do the business plan. Importante siya. Yan yung aking mistake before, and I've learned from it. Yung nagsimula ako ng business, hindi ako nakakonduct ng feasibility study. Okay, so at first nalugi yung business. That's yeah. Okay, thank you po, sir, for raising the question. Now let's go to the research studies. This report helps you analyze a problem. The report would include recommendations to resolve the problem. So you have to research on a particular problem and you analyze it. So kayo I'm sure meron na kayong mga research studies. Way back in college, may mga research na tayo, may thesis na tayo. We identify the problem. Kumbaga sabi nga nila, yung iba ayaw, iniiwasan nila yung problema. Pero tayo, nung college tayo yung naghahanap ng problema. Right? Hinahanap natin yung problem, we identify the problem, we analyze the problem, and we make recommendations and suggestions, okay, how to solve the problem. Okay, that's for the research studies. The periodic report, this report helps an organization improve its products, services, processes, or policies. The report can include things like profit and loss information, or it may examine efficiency. For instance, a retail store would have a monthly report on its sales. So yan ang periodic report. Yung ginagawa natin regularly, weekly, monthly. Meron po ba kayong mga periodic report? How often do you submit your periodic report? Yes, engineer? Ano, may mga report po? Yes?
Actually, yun sa mga infra project namin, mayroon kami mga annual monthly report din, quarter report din, mayroon tayong based on the depende kasi minsan mayroon mga nagkakandak ng on-time inspection sa project, no? So yun, mayroon tayong
meron mga
time report.
Yung mga project-based na report. But yeah, but meron kayong sinasubmit na monthly report. Okay?
Yes,
Others
monthly
kasi
report.
okay, yes po. Thank you, sir Mon. Others also submit weekly, meron silang weekly, meron din silang depende, no, quarterly, depende. So sa inyo po, what about the others? How often do you submit yung regular po na report? Hindi na yung aside doon sa mga report na hindi na regular, kasi if may project na sisimulan, hindi naman yun agad talagang monthly ka magsasabit or annual. But what about sa amin kasi, sa amin as staff, we have the accomplishment report. But our accomplishment report is due every year. So lahat na, especially ako, for example, ako, program holder ako sa division, may report akong isasubmit every year. Okay? Pero yung mga projects, agad-agad naman yun, may accomplishment report. Agad-agad. But iba yung annual talaga. Okay? What about the others? How often, pag nasa business kayo, usually, yung iba nga, daily report. Yung iba naman, weekly ang report. Depende sa context, no? Depende sa context ng business or sa context ng organization. Okay. Kasi there are some processes na hindi ka makaka-proceed the next day kung wala kang report on this day. Ayan, so may mga ganun na depende kung anong nire-represent niyo na organization or anong nature ng inyong organization. Okay? So situational report. To discuss a specific topic such as information from a conference, you use a situational report. Okay? So, and next we have the yan yung situational report. Your report, the basic format of this report, yung nakita natin kanina, those were the basic format. So, kayo na ang bahala kung paano nyo i-present yun sa body. Okay? But most likely the goal of the report is the report itself. So recommendation, the report would sound, of course, you will be recommending something. The situation report, it has still the title, the table of contents if it's long. It has the introduction, the body, the conclusion, recommendation. So same still, but you are just going to, in the body, you're just going to talk about the particular situation. No, if there are information from a conference that you want to share, you want to discuss, yan. And the yardstick report. Ano itong yardstick report? You can use this report to present several solutions as options for a particular situation. Kumbaga, 'di ba sa atin, sa most of this report, yung recommendation niya nasa last. Those were the several solutions. Those were the possible solutions for the problem. Sa yardstick report, hindi. Yung itong mga recommendations, aside from the recommendations, ito talaga na solutions. For example, may problem, you will be presenting these solutions thoroughly doon sa body. Ito na solution, paano siya gagawin, anong mechanism, how much, who are the people involved. So you're going to present the solutions. More on the solution siya focus sa isang problem. Okay? It is presenting different solutions for one particular problem. That's a yardstick report. Okay? So how to write a formal business report? Since we're done with the different types, first, of course, plan before you write. Lagi nating sinasabi, you will always fail to you always plan to fail if you fail to plan. So kung hindi mo planana yung susulatin mo, I hope luck will be on your side. Swerte kung okay siya. But if not, that is because you failed to plan. You treat the formal business report as you would handle a project. Before you start compiling research and writing down sections, plan exactly what you want to achieve so that alam mo kung saan ka papunta. If you know where you're going, dapat yung knowledge na yan, your knowledge of your direction should be from the very beginning. Hindi na during the process doon mo pa sasabihin, ay tama, ito ang gusto kong gawin na. Ito na ang gusto kong gawin. You cannot just have that, no? Yung abrupt kang mag-change ng direction. That dapat from the very beginning pa lang, you have to start it right. You need to set your direction so that, remember, it's not only you who's going to do the project or who's going to do the plan. Hindi mo kaya ikaw lang, maraming tao. So at first pa lang, naset mo na agad yung direction. Okay? So you will have a better chance of creating a report in a clear and simple style. So first, you need to, before you start researching, you start reading other reports, kailangan alam mo muna kung anong hahanapin mo. Because it will save you time and effort. It will save you a lot of books to read or reports to base on. Mas masisave mo yon kasi alam mo na kung anong gusto mo, ito na lang, limited na yung, or alam mo na kung ano yung mga kukunin mo na literature, na book, na report, and so on, right? Kasi alam mo na kung ano yung isusulat mo. Step 2, check for an in-house format. So the company you work for may already have an established format for formal business reports. Check your company handbook or ask the person who wants the report to see if there's a specific format you should use. Using an established format will help your report look more professional. Diba? Meron tayong records in charge. Meron tayong mga information personnel. I don't know how you put the term, how you term the person. Pero in other words, meron kayong mga hold ng records. Or your boss may know about this one. Kung magpapagawa silang report, especially if they are longer than you in the service, alam na nila yan. Meron ng mga template, meron ng format. It pays to ask. Wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong pag may right med po nito. Pag meron pong template nito, mag-ask kayo sa boss niyo. Anyway, because sila din naman yung papasahan ninyo. So they would most likely tell you that meron ng ganitong file. Okay? All you need to do is just to change some idea para mas mabilis, di ba? Mas maganda yung ganun. Okay, meron ng logo ng company, meron ng yung kung ano talaga ang format niyo. Kasi sa amin ano po kasi kami, tawag dito, naka-ISO kami, okay? May standard kami na template. Meron talaga kaming ifa-follow na format or template. So yun po. Depende siya sa inyong organization kung meron ganun. In-house format po. Okay? Kung wala naman, there are a lot of sources or templates in the internet na pwede nyong, for example, accomplishment report. Okay, ano yung mga best accomplishment report, paano siya gagawin, and so on. Okay, lahat po tayo ay graduate ni Google College at YouTube University, I believe. So, yan, they come in handy. Add a title. You might get the title of the report with a brief, or you may write it yourself. Make sure the title is clear and visible at the beginning of the report. You should also add your name at the names of others who have worked on the report and the date you wrote it. Like kanina po sa nakita natin. So again, like what I said, make your title brief and concise, and it tells what the report is. No need of other unnecessary words and highfalutin words. Make it just clear, concise, and specific. Okay? Yung talagang direct to the point. Kung ano yung title, yun na. Okay? The table of contents should follow the title and the authors. The table of contents page is essential for a formal report that is long and complex. Other reports, wala na silang table of contents. But if it's long, it's necessary. Although this page comes at the start of the report, it should be written last when the report is finished. Kasi mahirap mag-change ng table of contents. Na-try ko ito sa thesis. No, kasi ang thesis pabago-bago. So yung table of contents magbabago na naman. So talagang mas maganda kung last siyang gawin. Write down the section headings exactly as they appear in each section of the report and make sure the page numbers match too. Yeah, important ito. Ito ang minsan nakakaligtaan. Kapag una mong ginawa ang table of contents, hindi mo na-change mo ang body, hindi mo na siya na-change doon. So again, as suggested, do it at the last. The summary, add a summary or abstract. The summary summarizes the main points of a formal business report. It can be beneficial for the reader to have this section, but it is not mandatory. Again, not mandatory, especially if your report is short. It is best to ask the person who has requested the business report if they prefer a summary or abstract. Step 6, write an introduction. This section will detail the reason why you are writing the report. The introduction should address the purpose of the report and the background information on the subject you are writing. Include any definition and summarize the main argument. So that's the basic. The first thing that we do in the introduction is we define the problem, we define the topic, we describe it, and then we would coherence, no? We would relate it to our context. Ngayon, for example, ito yung problem, ito yung description, ito yung definition, then so what? So what sa atin? Anong connect niya sa ating company? Okay, so you have to state it in the second paragraph or the next paragraph kung kailangan nyo ng 2 or more paragraphs to establish the problem. Outline your methodology. The methodology section should explain to the reader the research methods you have chosen to create this report, such as using a qualitative method, a quantitative method, or a combination of both. It should be a clear justification of why you choose to use certain methods. So, yung ating methodology, kailangan siya during our thesis time, kailangan natin establish kung anong method ang gagamitin, qualitative or quantitative. Kasi in the extraction of data, or making for example, may mga questions tayo, may mga kailangan tayong pasagutan, may survey tayong gagawin. It will depend on if it was qualitative or quantitative. All right, so this section, present your findings. This section is where you should present the outcome of your research. It is important to present your results logically and succinctly while making sure that you have included enough information to prove that you have researched the matter thoroughly. When say succinctly, that just means it is brief. Okay, and concise. Yan lang yan siya. Logically, dapat naka ano siya, arrange siya arrange siya properly. Okay? May ibang mga findings na they start with really the biggest and then the lowest, the least, the most important and the least. So, mara naman if it's chronological, you have to start from the first, ang findings nyo in 2000, findings nyo in 2001, 2020, 2021, 2022. So you have to really present your results logically. If it needs chronological arrangement, you do so. If you need the prioritize the most important, you do so. But as long as logical siya, hindi siya sabog. Okay? Pag-present natin. Step 9, add a conclusion and recommendation. In this section, you would present your assessment from the findings, then make recommendations for action. If you add any goals, you should add measurable actions to them. Each goal, method, or option suggested should tell the reader how it will affect the organization. So what's your conclusion then? Ano yung kabuuan? What did you find? After all those findings, then what do you conclude and what do you recommend? Okay, so yan. Okay, basically the findings would just discuss the data that you have collected. The conclusion would arrive, then you would arrive into a conclusion, and then what would you recommend after concluding that this is the problem and this is what we need to do? And add a bibliography and appendices. Include all of the sources you have used to write the report. These can include periodicals, online articles, or books. List the sources in alphabetical order. You can also include all of the material to support the report. So it's also good to separate them, periodicals, online articles, or you have had the books. For some, they just write everything in alphabetical order. Okay, it's up to you. Ito importante, you proofread. Once you're finished writing your report, proofread it to make sure it's free of any grammatical or spelling errors. Use Grammarly. It helps. Yeah, I'm not part of the company. I just a user of Grammarly. It really helps a lot, which will make your report more credible. Moreover, be clear and concise when writing. Avoid complex words and slang. So kapag hindi tayo more on yung sabi kanina ni engineer, hindi masyadong hindi masyado tayong nag-focus on our English proficiency skill, it's not a problem. Again, it's not a basis for your for intelligence, tama, 'di ba? Dito lang naman daw sa Pilipinas yung grabe masyado yung talagang kinokorrect niya ating grammar. But in the business report, we have to because the change in the misuse of grammar would change the meaning of the whole sentence. So we have to be careful with it. So Grammarly, it will suggest, okay, the app will suggest how you would revise the sentence para free siya from grammatical errors. But it's important to proofread. It pays to ask. I mean, it's really good if you ask someone to proofread it for you. Even if ako language teacher na ako, but I still ask others to proofread because I cannot really see more if it's my work. Parang perfect na kasi sa atin yung work natin, no? But yeah, it's important to proofread. All right. So how do you usually write your business reports, long or short? Long or short? You respond in the chat box, long or short? Do you write your business reports long or short? Okay, I'll be waiting for your responses. And what type of business reports? Short. Yeah, short, brief, concise, sir, no? Para save sa papel at okay, save sa time and direct to the point tayo. Okay? So saan dito ng mga business reports, sir? Yeah, less words, less mistake. Sabi nila. Ano yung mga ginagawa natin na report? Sir, sa inyo po, sir. Ito, investigative, recommendation, research, periodic
sa amin,
report.
periodic.
Yeah,
Yes,
sa amin
compliance
din.
report.
Okay,
Compliance report. And then, of course, yung feasibility kasi minsan yung mga project kailangan natin na tingnan kung ano yung kuhan. So, feasibility report.
Yes,
That's why na tinanong ko kanina yung feasibility study. And then, investigative, mayroon din. Minsan may mga contractor natin hindi nila nagawa ng tama yung mga project, so nagkakaroon tayo ng investigative report noon.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Sir Mon, sa amin naman, ako periodic report. I also have my research studies report, and I have the recommendation report. Ayan. So, thank you. Well, that ends our training on effective business technical writing. And if you have some concerns, questions, ito po yung magsisend sa inyo, by the way, ng na website, na email ad, magsisend sa inyo ng copy ng certificates, ng video at tsaka ng material. Okay? I'll be asking everyone to turn on your video. If you have questions, you can direct us through our social media website. Okay? Please turn on your video so we can take a picture and we can have our some tools lunch after this. So maraming salamat po. So let's have this in 3. Ma'am Joanna, Sir Mark, Sir Mon. 3, 2, 1. And 3. Bakit hindi makita yung aking opa? 3, 2, 1. Okay, maraming salamat po everyone for having this training, and good luck and have a great lunch. Keep safe po. Thank you.